afternoon, everybody. So it is February the 28th, and I'm going to do a very quick recap of today's session, because I think there's a couple of things in here which are really worthwhile us noting down so that we can take forward in future trading setups, right? So I'll go through what trades I took today and show you those, and also what I took out of today, right? So very difficult day, very choppy, but there were opportunities if you saw them, right? So my first trade of the day was actually in the pre-market. It was in the London session. So I am based in London, so I'm fortunate enough to be able to trade that sometimes. So I was looking over in this piece of price action here, and we had this order block form, and we also had a propulsion block on the higher time frame. So this is the 15-minute chart. So my bellwether chart is the 15-minute chart, right? So I was looking at this piece of price action, and we had an order block. And then also, if we drop down to a lower time frame, we also had a mitigation block that was forming this bounce off, right? So I saw this as a market maker reversal, right? So when we came into my time, which was the London time, right, and this is when I was analysing the market, I saw that we had purged these relative equal lows. So now I was looking to frame an entry to go long. To do what? And for me, it was to tackle buy side. And if I just show you what I was actually aiming for, if we look at the hourly, I was looking for this draw on liquidity up here. So this fair value gap above these equal highs set on the 27th. So if you're on my Twitter or you're in our Discord, and by the way, if you haven't joined that, you're more than welcome to do that. It's currently free, and it's the doors are still open. So we're not creating a carnival atmosphere. We have a load of really knowledgeable sort of students, and we're creating an absolute beast of a community. So you're more than welcome to join. Links are in the bio. So with that being said, let's just jump into this trade. So I saw price had has obviously moved higher. For those of you who know my sort of the way I like to trade these V shapes is that I will initially look to see how price interacts around these SIBIs, right? So I like to see these turn into support turns resistance. So I got in down here, and I was looking to see how price interacted around this area. It didn't want to fail, so I kept hold of it. I actually had a dentist appointment today, so I didn't let it run to terminus, but you know, it was a good thing in the end. But it was still a monster trade, right? So if I just bring up my account for a second, for some reason it doesn't want to move across. Why you know, there you go. So I got in at 79. So I got in just down here, and I rode it up, and I took out these relative equal highs. So all in all, a lovely trade, right? From in at 79, out at 92 with ES. Lovely trade. So that was my London session trade, and then I was obviously away, came back, and we ran into the open, right? So the open was very tricky. One thing we have to note, and this is a note for you guys to note down, if we have massive range in the London session, right, and you can see this range that we had, it's highly unlikely the AM session, so the CME open, is going to be choppy, right? So if you ever see this, just be cautious trading the AM session, right? It's a really good piece of information, that. So I did take another trade. I took a trade at the open for some more handles. I'll just bring it across here just so you guys can see that. So I got in down at 80s, got it out at 8 so I took on two contracts. So I took another 8 handles there. So all in all, about 24 handles or something in my morning session. So the reason why I took this is I was looking at this weekly opening price, and price had obviously rejected off that quite strongly and showed aggressive displacement higher. We also had these relative equal highs up here, these relative equal highs. So I always thought the draw was north, right? I always thought we'd be bullish. So I was looking for entries to go long, and this order block that was down here, we came into it once, came into it twice. So I took my entry here, and I was targeting this imbalance on this displacement leg. I didn't care if it was going to come back down. I just wanted to get up into there, and that for me, that was my 5 handles on 2 contracts out of this order block. So I was taking an order block in a discount, so a discount of this range. So if we just look at this range here, I was taking an order block in a discount, very low discount, targeting a premium PDRA. In this instance, it was a fair value gap, 5 handles. There you go, bread and butter. So later in the day, we started getting this, and for those of you who, I wasn't actually around for it, but those of you who know, this is my free drives pattern, and we actually flew off it. If you don't know my free drives pattern, I have done a video on it, so do have a rummage through my videos and you will find it. And then we again get into this piece of price action, and for me this is when I trade my V's, right? I've done a session on these before. So when we get this breakout, we're looking for price to come back and test this BPR. We had this a 5-minute volume imbalance, price came back, tagged that, and obviously drove higher, right? So this was a really safe entry here, and your stop would be just below. Also, if it breaks through, you can put your stop just above on the other side, because this is a sign of weakness, right? But obviously price showed a strength to move higher. Now, right, this is where it gets interesting, because this is what I want to talk about mainly. So we had Dixie move ripping all day. It was ripping all day, so you can see it came down and tested this new day opening gap, and it never wanted to stop. It just hit that and flew, right? It was off. And what do we know about Dixie? So if Dixie's going up, what should ES do, right? ES should tank, right? That is just the rule of thumb. So for some reason, like, Dixie and ES decided to hang out together, right? They were just, you know, game for chilling out, right? So Dixie was ripping, ES was ripping, right? That is an immediate alarm bell. Immediate alarm bell, because that isn't normal, right? If Dixie goes up, ES goes down, right? So when they're both moving up, that is a sign of something isn't right, right? So when it was, I was calling this out in my Discord. If we just break down this hourly, and this is what I was talking people through. So we have this long-term low, long-term high. So we have a long-term low, short-term low, what am I doing? Long-term high, short-term high, intermediate-term high, right? So you can see that this high couldn't take out this high couldn't take out this high. We're looking at this high not to take out the interim term high, because what's going to happen if it goes over this? What do we have? We have a breaker, right? So price is likely to be what? Bullish. Now for me, I was calling this out. I was like, well, if Dixie's ripping so much and ES has gone with it, for me it's just unlikely ES is going to continue pushing through this intermediate term high, especially as this would then form a break, and we'd likely to see further continuation. With ES ripping, for me it was just a no-no. So I wasn't expecting price to break this level. So I did take some trades. I took this all the way down. I got a little bit, had a bit of fun with it. So as soon as I got in up here, I got in at 99. I was all over this. So I was just bringing my trades, and so you can see I basically played the thing the whole way down. Made about, I don't know, 15 handles or something in that range. That was MES, because that was a little bit, you know, I don't know, PM. I've made my money today, so I just played with the MES on those. But what was I targeting? And again, I called this out in Discord. I didn't take the full range, but I was targeting this range back down here. Why was I targeting this range? So I was targeting this range for a number of reasons. We had the old mitigation block, and what do we know about mitigation blocks in the PD array that they're going to be targeted for, right? They are a level of which price has to break through if it's to run down into a deeper discount. So this is what it was gravitating towards. We also had a 5-minute rejection block, right? So we have a strong wick candle taking out previous liquidity, and this rejection block hadn't been retested. So I was expecting price to come back and retest that rejection block. We also, if we jump onto the 4-hour chart, where are we? Where is it? So if we look at the 4-hour chart, we had a volume imbalance in here. So the volume imbalance for me hadn't been touched, so that was another reason why price would run. And we also had the base of this week and consequential encroachment of this daily wick. So we had so many PD arrays as to why price was going to run down there. And we also had Dixie that just would not stop ripping. It just will not stop, right? So when this broke through the weekly consequential encroachment, right, once it broke through that level, when it came back up and broke through that level, ES gave up the ghost, and it just absolutely tanked. It died a death. So that's what I want you to take away from today, right? I want you to take away that if Dixie is going in hand with ES, alarm bells should be running. Then look for a higher time frame PD rate for price to buckle. And I just want to say, I've had a dentist appointment today, right? And I've had some teeth work done, so yeah, that's why I'm a little bit sketchy today. But yeah, I thought because I can't speak today. But I'll leave it at that. If you found this useful, please do consider smashing the like and hitting subscribe. And as always, take care, and I will catch you on the next one. Until then, bye now.